Welcome to an in-depth look at what has become the most captivating storyline of the 2026 tennis season. Around the world, fans are desperately searching for any way to watch the Wimbledon round of 16 showdown between Alex Ehler and Jasmine Paolini. If you're one of the countless people hopping to catch a live stream before it disappears, you're certainly not alone. Interest in this match has exploded unlike anything we've seen this tournament, fueled not only by the prestige of Wimbledon, but by the incredible events that unfolded during the opening rounds. This isn't simply another match preview. It's the story of a breakthrough star, an established contender, and a moment that could reshape tennis history. On July 6, 2026, 21-year-old Filipino sensation Alex Ehler will step onto one of the sport's biggest stages to challenge Italy's experienced 13th seed, Jasmine Paolini. The journey to this meeting feels almost scripted for a movie. Eala arrives riding the momentum of one of the greatest upsets Wimbledon has witnessed in years after eliminating defending champion Iga Swiatek. Across the net stands Paolini, a seasoned competitor whose consistency, intelligence, and relentless baseline play have carried her confidently into the second week. Yet this contest means far more than forehands, backhands, and tactical exchanges. It represents the dreams of an entire nation. For the Philippines, Eala has become a symbol of hope, chasing a Grand Slam milestone that once seemed impossible. Standing in her way is one of Italy's toughest competitors, a player who has built her reputation by frustrating opponents and thriving under pressure. In this comprehensive preview, we'll examine every angle of this blockbuster matchup. We'll retrace both players' paths through the tournament, break down the tactical battle that could decide the outcome, revisit their earlier meeting in Dubai, and even explore the online frenzy surrounding Wimbledon streams that inspired so much attention leading into this clash. By the end, you'll have a complete understanding of why this match has captured the imagination of tennis fans everywhere. To appreciate the significance of this showdown, we first need to revisit the remarkable performance that brought Alex Ehler to this stage. Only days ago, the 29th seed walked onto center court facing what many believed would be an impossible challenge. Standing opposite her was world number 3 and reigning Wimbledon champion Iga Swiatek, a player whose consistency, defensive brilliance, and relentless topspin have overwhelmed some of the best competitors in the world. Most expected the young Filipina's tournament to end there. Instead, she delivered the performance of her career. The opening set became an intense psychological battle that lasted 84 gripping minutes. Swiatek struck first, earning an early break to move ahead 2-1, against a player of her caliber that could have been the beginning of a routine victory. Eala had other ideas. Rather than allowing the moment to overwhelm her, she responded immediately with a break of her own. Her flat, left-handed forehand repeatedly cut through the grass, staying low after the bounce and denying Swiatek the time she usually relies on to build her heavy ground strokes. Neither player was willing to give an inch. The rallies became longer, the tension continued to rise, and eventually the set was decided in a dramatic tiebreak. At 9-9, with center court hanging on every point, Eala showed remarkable composure. After fighting off 2 set points earlier, she earned another opportunity of her own. When Swiatek sent a forehand sailing beyond the baseline, Eala claimed the breaker 11-9 and completely changed the complexion of the match. Winning that first set gave the young Filipina enormous confidence. She carried that momentum straight into the second set, where she stunned everyone by taking complete control. Eala broke serve to love in the opening game, exposing cracks in Swiatek's normally dependable forehand before racing to a commanding 4-0 advantage. Even when the defending champion managed to recover one break, Eala refused to lose her focus. She immediately responded with another break, leaving herself one service game away from the biggest victory of her career. The closing moments were anything but easy. Serving for the match, Eala faced 4 break points in a nerve-wracking final game. Each time she remained calm, trusting her aggressive game and refusing to back away from the moment. Then, on her third match point, she unleashed a stunning cross-court forehand winner that sent center court into celebration as she collapsed to her knees following an unforgettable 7-6, 6-2 victory. The numbers reflected just how complete her performance had been. She struck 24 winners while committing only 21 unforced errors and displayed extraordinary resilience, by saving 8 of the 11 break points she faced. This wasn't simply an upset. Alex Ehler outplayed, outthought, and outlasted the defending Wimbledon champion. Her historic victory also made her the first Filipino player in the Open era to reach the second week of a Grand Slam singles tournament, a milestone that extends far beyond tennis. In a country where basketball, boxing, and billiards have traditionally dominated the sporting landscape, Eala has inspired an entirely new generation of tennis fans. Her achievement drew praise from legends including Billie Jean King, while millions back home stayed glued to their screens to witness every point of her remarkable run. With each victory, she carries far more than ranking points or prize money. She represents the hopes of more than 100 million Filipinos who are watching one of their own compete on tennis' biggest stage. But reaching the quarterfinals will require another extraordinary performance because waiting on the other side of the net is Jasmine Paolini. The Italian star has built her career through relentless determination, tactical discipline, and remarkable consistency. Although many still associate her with clay court success after deep runs in Stuttgart, Madrid, and Roland Garros, she has proven during this Wimbledon that her game translates beautifully to grass. Paolini has navigated the tournament with impressive efficiency. She began by overcoming the dangerous Robin Montgomery, whose powerful serve tested her throughout the match. In the second round, she defeated Switzerland's Viktorija Golubic in straight sets, using patience and superior movement to control the longer rallies. Her most convincing performance came in the third round against former world-class contender Maria Sakkari. Paolini dominated from the opening point, cruising to a commanding 6-1, 6-2 victory in just over an hour while completely neutralizing Sakkari's aggressive baseline attack. Her movement on grass has been exceptional. She stays balanced, reacts quickly to awkward bounces, and consistently redirects her opponent's pace instead of trying to overpower them. That brings us to perhaps the most intriguing aspect of this round of 16 encounter. These two players already know what it's like to face each other. Earlier this season, at the Dubai Tennis Championships, Alex Ehler defeated Jasmine Paolini in straight sets, 6-1, 7-5. Throughout that match, Ehler's left-handed game disrupted Paolini's rhythm from the very beginning. Her aggressive returns constantly applied pressure, preventing the Italian from settling into the patient baseline exchanges that usually define her success. One of the biggest reasons Eala dominated that meeting in Dubai was her ability to attack Paolini's second serve. The Italian struggled to protect it throughout the match, committing costly double faults and allowing Eala to win an impressive 55% of the points played behind her second delivery. Those numbers tell an important story, but they don't tell the whole story. This time, the battle shifts to grass, and that changes everything. Wimbledon rewards a completely different style of tennis. The lower bounce and faster pace make flat, aggressive shot-making far more dangerous than on hard courts. That plays directly into Alex Ehler's strengths. Her left-handed forehand becomes an even bigger weapon on grass. Instead of sitting up comfortably, the ball skids through the court, forcing opponents to strike from awkward positions. When Eala drives that cross-court forehand toward Paolini's backhand, it stays low and rushes the Italian, often leaving a short reply that Eala can immediately attack. Her serve has also become a much bigger factor. Against top competition throughout this tournament, Eala has consistently found her spots, especially with the classic left-handed slice wide from the ad court. On Wimbledon grass, that serve becomes even more difficult to read and return, creating plenty of opportunities to control rallies from the very first shot. But Jasmine Paolini is far too experienced to walk into this match without making adjustments. You can be certain she and her coaching staff have carefully studied every point from Eala's victory over Iga Swiatek. They know exactly what made that performance so effective. Rather than exchanging flat power from the baseline, Paolini will almost certainly try to slow the rhythm of the match. She'll look to extend rallies, force Eala to play extra balls, and test whether the young Filipina can remain patient under sustained pressure. Expect plenty of backhand slices from the Italian. Keeping the ball low is one of the smartest ways to disrupt an aggressive player on grass. If Paolini can consistently force Eala to generate pace from below knee level, she'll increase the chances of drawing mistakes instead of allowing Eala to dictate. Another key area will be the return of serve. If Paolini can neutralize Eala's opening delivery and prevent the Filipina from attacking immediately, the points become much more balanced. From there, Paolini's outstanding movement, defensive instincts, and experience in long matches could gradually swing the momentum in her favor. She has built her career on resilience. Time after time, she turns impossible defensive positions into attacking opportunities with remarkable anticipation and perfectly timed counterpunching. That's exactly the type of challenge Eala will face throughout this match. Then there's the psychological side of the contest. Alex Ehler is coming off the biggest victory of her career, a performance that shocked the tennis world and instantly made her one of the biggest stories at Wimbledon. But history has shown that the match following a monumental upset is often the hardest one to win. The emotional high begins to fade, media attention intensifies, expectations suddenly change. Only a few days ago, Eala stepped onto center court with absolutely nothing to lose. Now everything is different. Many fans actually see her as the favorite, especially after defeating Paolini earlier this season. That shift brings a completely different kind of pressure. Can she reset mentally? Can she put the Swiatek victory behind her and focus entirely on the challenge in front of her? Those questions may prove just as important as any forehand or serve. Meanwhile, Jasmine Paolini finds herself in a position she actually enjoys. Despite being the higher seed, most of the headlines belong to Eala. The spotlight is fixed on the young breakout star, allowing the Italian to quietly prepare without carrying the weight of public expectation. Paolini has spent years competing against the very best players in the world. She knows every match starts at zero. Previous victories, rankings, and headlines disappear the moment the first ball is struck. Expect her to walk onto the court with complete focus, trusting the tactical discipline that has carried her deep into so many major tournaments. Now let's briefly address something that has surrounded this match from the very beginning: the enormous online search for free live streams. Phrases like "watch free before it's taken down" have become incredibly common whenever major sporting events capture worldwide attention. The reason is simple. Broadcast rights for Wimbledon are divided among different television networks across the globe. Companies invest enormous amounts of money to secure exclusive coverage in specific countries, which often means fans elsewhere either face expensive subscription fees or cannot legally access the matches at all. As a result, countless viewers begin searching for unofficial streams moments before play begins. Those streams frequently appear online only to disappear minutes later after copyright enforcement systems detect them. It's a constant game of cat and mouse. New broadcasts emerge. Others are immediately removed. Some survive for an entire match. Others vanish during the most dramatic moments. The incredible demand surrounding the Eala versus Paolini match says something much bigger than simple curiosity. It reflects just how rapidly Alex Ehler has become an international sporting figure. Fans aren't searching because of controversy. They're searching because they genuinely want to witness history unfold. Her rise has captured the imagination of people far beyond traditional tennis audiences, particularly throughout the Philippines and across Asia. Of course, unauthorized streaming remains illegal and creates significant challenges for the organizations that invest in broadcasting professional tennis. At the same time, the overwhelming demand highlights an important conversation about accessibility and how global sporting moments can reach the people who care about them most. Now back to the tennis itself. The stakes couldn't be much higher. For Jasmine Paolini, reaching another Wimbledon quarterfinal would further establish her as one of the sport's most complete all-surface competitors. For years, many critics viewed her primarily as a clay court specialist. Another deep run on grass would permanently silence that debate. For Alex Ehler, however, the opportunity is truly historic. A victory would send her into the Wimbledon quarterfinals for the very first time, launch her further up the world rankings, guarantee direct entry into the biggest tournaments on the calendar, and firmly establish her as one of the brightest young stars in world tennis. She is no longer simply a promising prospect. She has become a genuine contender capable of challenging the sport's biggest names on its grandest stages. Once the umpire calls time, all the predictions disappear. Only execution will matter. Will Eala continue striking fearless winners, painting the lines with her explosive left-handed game, or will Paolini's remarkable movement, intelligent shot selection, and defensive brilliance gradually wear down the young Filipina? It's youth against experience, explosive offense against disciplined defense. The confidence gained from one of Wimbledon's greatest recent upsets against the calm consistency of a battle-tested veteran. That's what makes this matchup so fascinating. As we close this preview, one thing feels certain. This is exactly why Grand Slam tennis continues to captivate millions around the world. Every tournament creates new heroes. Every draw produces unexpected stories. Every upset opens the door for someone to change their career forever. No matter who advances, this match will leave a lasting mark on the 2026 Wimbledon Championships. For the Philippines, Alex Ehler has already inspired an entire nation. For Italy, Jasmine Paolini continues to prove why experience, resilience, and tactical brilliance remain some of the most valuable weapons in professional tennis. Thank you for joining this complete breakdown of one of the tournament's biggest matches. However you plan to follow the action, don't miss this showdown. Alex Ehler versus Jasmine Paolini has every ingredient needed for an unforgettable Wimbledon classic, and when the final point is played, we'll be back to break down everything that happened in what promises to be another remarkable chapter of the 2026 tennis season.